We started going over some handwriting tips, learning the Arabic letters, and taking handwriting tips at the same time. And we got up to letter Sheen, from Alif to Sheen. So now we want to start from there. Yani the next letter, and we'll get as far as Allah willed for us to get. Wa alaykum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And the next letter is letter Ṣaad. Ṣaad. Now, letter Ṣaad, in terms of its shape, in my imagination, it starts off like an ice cream cone that you dropped on the ground. Here's your ice cream cone on the ground. See that part right there? That's your ice cream cone right there on the ground. And you're really considering picking it up and eating it anyway. So that's the start of my Ṣaad there. Notice that uh, it's like I'm going up a ramp. Up, up, up. Then I come over, and like other letters, before I hit the line, I make a curve, and then I ride the line there, or even go under it a little bit. Now, Ṣaad has a tooth, so I'm going to go here. So one, I'm going this way. Then I'm going around this way. That's two. Then I'm coming this way. That's three. And then sharp turn going up like this. That's four right there. I'm not done yet though. So it means I'm going to go up like this. See there? That tooth is supposed to be there. Now from that tooth, I'm going to come down and write my hoop here like that. There's Ṣaad. Going to continue here. That's Ṣaad. So it's not perfect Ṣaad. None of these are perfect, but it's decent. Very legible. It's good Ṣaad. Not bad at all, mashallah. My thing slips under my hand sometimes. Ṣaad. Ṣaad. And the Arabic letters, you can stretch them. Ṣaad. That's Ṣaad. And Ṣaad has a dot. The left side is lower than the right. Uh, you mean this hoop here is lower than this hoop up here? You mean here, this part is higher than this part. Yes, correct. So there's your Ṣaad and your Dad. And if you can do Ṣaad and Dad, then you can do Ta and Dha. Because we still have that ice cream cone that fell down. But there's a scorpion tail, which is basically like an elif on there. The scholars describe it as a scorpion tail. They say the ta and the va have a scorpion tail. So there's your ta and your scorpion tail. If it's a va, it has a dot. It's not a condition to get the tail right into that little corner right there. That's not a condition. They usually don't have it right there. They have it just a little bit up the ramp a little bit. So that's sawed and lawed and law and law. Then the next letter is ain and ghain. For these two, you're going to need, if you want to write them well, to pick your pen up. So you have your first stroke over the line like this. I picked my pen up right there. Then I'm coming back from here. So ain is like this. Here, I picked my pen up right here. Then I'll come all the way over here. So that's how they look. Ain, ghain. Ghain has a dot. So if I write it just smaller, looks better when smaller. These aren't bad. But what's wrong with these ones that I'm doing? What's wrong with these ones is you can see where I picked my pencil up and put, you can see where I picked my pencil up. That I tried to avoid that. You can see right there where I picked my pencil up. So that's not so nice right there. This last one is better. You can't really see where I picked my pencil up. That's a smooth transition there. This one here too, you can't really see where I picked my pencil up. That one's not too bad. Mm. Let me do some more of those. Not bad. But even when you can see where I picked my pencil up and put it back down, that's better than not doing it. If you don't pick your pencil up, your iron's gonna look like this. So that's not really the best shape for the iron. Iron has style to it. These are not bad. These are any pretty good ones. Ain doesn't have a dot. Ghain has a dot. From here, this is where they got the shape of the letter Hamza. The Hamza is like a decapitated Ain. Yani they took the head of an Ain. And that's it. That's Hamza. If you want to write a decent Hamza, pick your pencil up. These ones are coming out pretty good. If you don't pick your pencil up, it's gonna come out like something funny, like this last one here. Maybe someone could do it without picking his pencil up. Pick your pencil up though. I can still see when I didn't pick my pencil up, I can still see how the pencil overlapped here. With my own eye, I can see it. I don't really like it. Okay, so that's Ain and Ghain. Next is Fa. Now, if you know how to write a bat, a tat, and a tha, then you know how to write a fa. I'll remind you how to write bat, tat, and that. Bat, tat, and that, you're starting over the line. Before you hit the line, you make your curve. You ride the line a little bit or even go under it slightly. Then you come back up. There's your bat, tat, and that. It's like a boat. Okay. Bat has a dot underneath, tat has two dots on top, that has three dots on top. So, what does that have to do with letter fat? Letter fat has a hoop or yeah, a hoop and then becomes like bat. Has a hoop and a neck and then it becomes like bat. Here's the neck of the fat. So he has a head, this hoop here, and he has a neck too. Some people write fat without a neck. How would fat be without a neck if you write it like this? This is weak. Someone's going to know what it's supposed to be, but it's not great handwriting. Some Arabs even write fat instead of going this way first and then coming around and then going around. Some of them, uh, they write it this way. Yani, they go like this. Like, how do we write Ṣaad? Did we go up like this and then come around? And that's how we wrote Paul. Some people, they write fat kind of like that. There's no neck on it. They write it like that. So that's weak. That's a good one. Okay. So that's letter fat. Should be writing the names of the letters out for you. Some people, right? You have letter Ṣaad, letter Bod, letter Ba, letter Va, letter Ain, and if it has a dot, then it's Ghain. And now we are at letter. Well, we took a moment to look at letter Hamza. We'll come back to that, inshallah, to talk about that letter itself. And now we just covered letter Fa. Can you also write a bolt and then put that circle thing on the right side to make it easier? Uh, uh, well, when you say to make it easier, you mean to achieve a good shape. But in terms of writing, this is not easier. Like if you're writing, because what you want to do eventually is be able to write anything you hear. That means you're going to just be writing without thinking. So, for example, you're going to be writing, for example, قل هو الله أحد, fast. Allahu Samad, for example. That's not great handwriting, but I'm writing fast. So if you do it the way you're asking me, then it's not going to be easier to write the bold part first and then come back and put the hoop. But it looks like it's going to get you a nice shape if you do it that way. And notice that this hoop is slightly triangular. It's not round. It's a triangle-esque shape. Um, See how the lines go fast. So that's letter fat. Now, if you can do letter sod and letter bod, then you can do letter cough. Because you saw how sod has that hoop at the end, and bod likewise has that hoop at the end. Well, that's basically the cough without the head on it. So you're gonna put the head on it. Like a fat, like the head of a fat, and then go under the line. Cough. There you go. Cough. Okay. After cough comes calf. Calf is easy. You have, it's like you're writing an alif at first. Right before you hit the line, you curve. And that's it right there. And then you put in between a hamza that looks kind of like an S. That's nice calf there. Let's take a look in the Mus'haf, see some of these letters here. Okay. Let's see Surat Sod. Surat Sod. There it is. Here's Surat Sod. Here's Sod for you. So going up, curve there, come down, curve before I hit the line, come around, go up. There's my tooth, and come back down. There you go. That's Sod. Something like that. And if his bod has a dot, here's letter cough right here. See letter cough right here. So you see his slightly triangular head. Then come down, and you have a significant turn here and two dots. Here's another sod. If you want to practice your handwriting, copy from a mushaf. Yeah, cough and fat look similar, but fat stays on the line, cough goes under the line. Here's a bat. Fight the line curve. Come back up. Here's a dal, hunchback there, and dal has a little tooth there. Uh-huh. Subhanallah. Here's a thought. Here's thought. Just like Ṣaad, then it has a little spoiler there, like you know how the back of a car is a spoiler, and has his scorpion tail. If you want to add that fancy little flick up there, you can do that too. You don't have to. What else we have here? Looking for letters in their uh, individual form. Okay. So here we are at calf. Where's your calf? I know where there's a calf. There's a calf in Surat Taha. Just one that comes to my mind, that is. Here's a calf. Wasn't the one I was looking for, but it's fine. So here it's like, hold on. Here it's like there's an elif here, and then before you hit the line curve, then you write the line. It has a little tooth there. It has hamza inside. Notice the difference between that and this calf. Yes. Notice the difference between this calf and this calf. The one underneath is connected. Okay. This is the eye I was looking for here. كي نسبحك كثيرا ونذكرك كثيرا إنك كنت بنا بصيرا. How many calves are there? One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. Eight calves there. كي نسبحك كثيرا ونذكرك كثيرا إنك كنت بنا بصيرا قال قد أوتيت سؤلك يا موسى. Okay. So I can probably improve my calf here like that. That's better now. And if I want, I could put that little flick at the top there. And I often want. So there's calf. We can see it's like has an alif on top and then comes around. That's letter calf. Then we have up next letter lamb. That's pretty easy. Let's take a look at Mushaf too. Letter lamb. Bismillah. Here's one. Qala. Here's lamb by itself. So same thing. We see here it's like there's alif here. Then goes under the line and comes up. That's not a good one though. So there's another lamb. Qala. Okay. So that's letter lamb. Now meme. Starting on the line, coming over like this, curving. Should be using a different color. There's your meme. And there's other ways you can do meme. I would see in my imagination, meme is the head of a brontosaurus. So called. I don't really believe in dinosaurs. Meme. Okay. Then the next letter is noon. So if you can write sod and bod and cough, you can write noon. Because noon is that hoop there with a dot. Noon. You can write Arabic letters long. You can write noon like this. That's simple enough. Noon. Noon. Uh, Now, next letter is ha. This one might take some practice. So, how you gonna write a decent hat? So you can start over the line, descending towards the line. Then curve, come back up, loop de loop, and then there's your tail. We're going to look in the Mus'haf, see if we see any of these. So this is a workable hat. Wow, this is hat. As for wow, if you can write ra and zay, you can write wow. And if you can write fat and cough, you can write wow. Because wow is like a cross between a fat and a ra. You have the head of the fat and the body of the ra. Oops. What the hell? Wow. That's easy enough. So meme, noon, hat, wow. And then the last one is letter yeah. In my imagination, yeah is a super S. So the way to write yeah, start over the line. Head towards the line, lacking, however, towards the going the right side. And before you get to the line, curve. See that there? Then dip under the line. That's yeah right there. You can give the top little tooth if you want. That's letter yeah. So let's take a look at Mus'haf, see if we find some of these. Meme, noon, hat, wow, yeah. In their individual states, though. So here in Mus'haf, here's look this. Bismillah. Hmm. Okay, so we have here some letters. Ah, look, here's an ayn. Here's an ayn. Look how they went this way, then like this. See that angle? I said, then you're going to pick your pen up and come down this way. Okay. Uh, Here's a hat by itself, but they're using not the form that I was telling you. Here's a Hamza. Here's a Noon. هكذا. I'm looking to see, is there a meme by itself? Here's one. There it is. That's me. Meme, then we just saw noon. Ha. Don't think we're going to see one in its neutral form. Yeah. Now I know I just saw yeah. Here's one. It doesn't have the dots though. Technically, that's an alif. No, Amri, that is a yeah, but doesn't have dots. So he went up here, then he came down, came around right here. That's like a backwards dab. Then from here, did a serious dip. Very attractive letter there. He said, what is that line between the ayin and the wow? Where was I? So I'm not sure which one you're asking me about. And here's a wow. Here's a ra right here. Notice that part of it is over the line. This is where the line would be. Between the ayin and the wow. I'm not sure which spot you're referring to. Okay. So now we just went through all the letters, what they look like in their neutral forms, with some handwriting tips. Now we need to, not now, after this, we need to start looking at how the letters look connected.